You have to see this. Gypsy, I would not call it a bad choice either. People just want you to truly take accountability. We want to know you understand what you've done. And Gypsy says this: have I ever denied my crime? No. I admitted to it. I did my time. What more do y'all want? Do you want me to walk around with a sign saying I am an M? Will that bring her back? No. So life goes on. Wow. I cannot believe she said that.
Not me. So when they say I'm a murderer, I associate myself as a murderer. Think about it. Yes, I had a part to play in it. I asked Nick for help, but he's the one that did the actual. I don't identify as that. Let me live my life. Let me reinvent myself. Give me a chance. Yeah. Because before I didn't even have that chance to begin with. So let me show you guys who I am as a person before you just start slapping.
So basically, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is just like, is it going to bring her back? No. So life goes on. That's why homicide is such a heinous crime. You can't undo it. You can't bring somebody's life back. You also can't free Nicholas Godejohn, and you cannot bring Stephanie Goldhammer, his mother, back also. Okay, so we're not talking about the life of one person. We're talking about the lives of 3 people. So let's not forget that. And secondly, yeah, underneath the Missouri statute, I literally cannot believe that she has the audacity to even say this. You know what you did? You did under the statute of Missouri law for first degree premeditated homicide. Anybody over the age of 18 who knowingly causes the death of another person after deliberation upon the matter. That's what you did. That's what you did. The thing is, with crimes like this, it's the most heinous crime because when you take somebody's life, you can't give it back. You can't bring it back. You cannot ever get full justice or make amends for that because you can't bring somebody's life back. You also can't free Nicholas Godejohn or bring his mother, Stephanie Goldhammer, back as well. So it's not just one life, it's 3 lives. And people think this is especially heinous because of not just the lack of accountability, the shifting the blame onto other people, trying to shift the blame of what you did onto Nicholas, when it was you who solicited and hired somebody to help you. It doesn't matter who committed the act with the item. That's irrelevant. Anybody over the age of 18 who knowingly causes the death of another human, that is first degree premeditated homicide. But after 8+ years in Chillicothe Correctional Center, you can look at all the programs, all the educational programs, all of the therapy and substance use programs that they have for women at that prison. And you can feel free to pause and to read any one of these. There's even women that have been in their 60s and 70s that have gotten a college degree in Chillicothe because they have so many partner programs with several different universities. So if Gypsy wanted to prove that she wanted to be reformed and rehabilitated and take accountability and responsibility, there was a lot that she could have done in that 8+ years. Okay. Now there's lots of places that said, oh no, she's been locked up for 7. She's been locked up for almost 8. She was locked up for 8.5. She was arrested in June of 2015. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. She was released in December 28th of 2023. So that's 8.5 years. She could have done plenty of things if she wanted to be reformed and rehabilitated. But if you doubt me, you can go back to my video that's entitled The Gypsy Rose Agenda, and you can see how from the very beginning of her being arrested, she was already working on filming podcasts, interviews, documentaries, and TV shows. And that is what her sole focus was in those 8.5 years, and even now, and projected into 2026. So we can remind Lifetime time and time and time again that this is a person who has zero remorse. Zero remorse. She's not taking any accountability. She doesn't feel any sense of responsibility for herself or her actions. And this is what she has to say about it. Will that bring her back? No. So life goes on. And that is the same exact attitude towards Nicholas Godejohn and towards his mother's unfortunate passing, Stephanie Goldhammer, that people don't like you. Why they are not okay with you being given a platform, and why we don't believe your lies. Because we have caught them out time and time and time and time and time again. The thing is that nobody owes you proving yourself, because you've had that opportunity even though you weren't deserving of it and you didn't meet the expectation. People also want the truth, the full truth. Why don't you tell the truth? The medical records, and yes, this is credited to Fancy Maselli, but this right here, Gypsy, why aren't you telling people that you pretended to be a paraplegic? So your medical records reflect that you're physically disabled when you're not. So you can get a monthly disability check, SSI, SSDI. Why don't you tell people that that's the truth? That's what you were doing with your mother. Why? And this isn't even all of the foundations, the Make-A-Wish, the trips, all of it. But pretending to be a paraplegic in a wheelchair. So your medical records reflect that. So then Social Security gets a copy of these medical records, and it looks like you're physically disabled when you're not. Meanwhile, there's people that actually are physically disabled who have egregious diseases, and they can't even get SSI or SSDI and are fighting for 6 years with attorneys. Until you tell the truth, you can't be free of it. You cannot be free of it. And anybody who would willingly lie about being R-worded and perjure themselves and lie under oath with all laws of man and God, that's somebody that has zero heart at all. That's not a heart I want to know. That's a cold heart. That's a dead heart. And I have earned every goddamn self-righteous, condescending attitude that I have. You know why? Because I have never harmed anybody or taken anybody's life. I have never put anybody in prison for the remainder of theirs and taken away their freedom and their ability to stand and their ability to tell their story. And I haven't taken somebody else's life by proxy either. Many of us haven't. So that automatically gives us the right to be condescending and self-righteous and to say, no, we're not going to tolerate this. We're not going to take the word of Jeffrey Epstein. We're not going to take the word of Harvey Weinstein. We're not going to take the word of P. Diddy. We're certainly not going to take the word of Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer, right? And we're not going to pay all those people for TV shows and interviews and books and docuseries and reality TV shows and pay them for public speaking engagements. So just because Gypsy has a squeaky voice and is only 4'11" and pretends to be a victim, you guys are going to pay her for it and believe her nonsense and her bullshit when it's right there in your face, to do your own research and to look. The more she talks, the more you're going to catch her in lies. Because if I've been able to realize it in October of 2023, then there's no way in hell that nobody else can see it. So there's that.